Be strong.
It's time for live racing action with the Short Track Super League ARCA Series, presented by Buttkicker and Jazeboski Designs. Now, let's join Chris from Captain TV live from Phoenix Raceway.
A diamond in the desert that sits just a few minutes outside of Phoenix, Arizona. We are at Phoenix Raceway in the town of Avondale. Believe it or not, that town does exist, and that's where we are tonight for round number 2 of the Short Track Super League ARCA Series, presented by Jazeboski Designs and Buttkicker tonight here at the 1 mile Phoenix Raceway. 70 degrees outside, very low humidity as usual out here in the desert. 73 degrees down on track. Going to be a fun night here. As well, iRacing still calls it ISM Raceway, but it's now known as Phoenix Raceway. Qualifying is underway for round number 2. Let's talk about and get us all caught up with what has gone on so far here after 1 week. Mark Herzog went out at Iowa last week and basically stole the show. Won the pole and then fell back a little bit after some accidents and came back and won the race last week. And because of that, as we are going to use the website, actually, Dan Lisa, to show the point standings tonight. Here's where it looks like right now. And this is the driver standings. Sam Fontaine leads, or tied, I should say, with Mark Herzog in the points, and that's because Sam actually had no incident points, so he was able to get a bonus and stuff in the series last week. So congratulations to him. And of course, it is a big team series this season, so we got team points and so much more. Well, after one race, of course, well, there's still plenty of time left to go in the series. Let's take a look at the schedule that is on the way here. Of course, tonight's Phoenix Raceway. Next week, we'll take that long way to Richmond trip, like we're going north on 95, for 125 laps. Then it's Dover, Martinsville, and then a vote, actually, by the drivers for what track will come up. So, as you know, it's mostly predominantly not just like a short track series, but a mixture of a short and a intermediate type of track season schedule. So you're not going to see Daytona, Talladega, but you're not going to see, you know, Lanier and Langley and things like that on the schedule. Instead, you're going to see fun tracks like last week Iowa, this week Phoenix, next week Richmond. So definitely going to see the fun of the schedule now. We have over 30 cars tonight, so unfortunately we are going to have some cars going home when it's all over with, and we'll see who those drivers are here in just a few minutes. But qualifying is going on right now. Austin Edwards, the 18 car, is on the pole right now with a 27.86. He's got some 3/10 right now over second place Jason Dalton here in qualifying for this race, which again will start up here in just a couple minutes, and seem to have misplaced. I'm just looking for it here real quickly, so stand by. Yeah, I don't have it. I thought I had the points for the team standings, but I don't. So let's actually, I'm going to jump into the Short Track Super League. I'm sure he's got it set up right here somewhere. Maybe he doesn't. I thought he had. Forgive me as I go looking for the points. I maybe, oh well. Anywho, I'll get you the points updated for next week. It's only one race in right now, and of course, plenty of time to go when it's all over with. But tonight, it's going to be 100 laps here at this 1 mile track, and we still have the old Phoenix build on the track here. So the front straightaway is actually now the backstretch in real life here at Phoenix Raceway, but tonight it will be utilized as the front straightaway when it is all over with. So let's see here as they're about to grid, I believe, here. Up there's a warm-up going on right now. So cars are going to get out here on the track and run a few minutes of laps, I believe, here. And we'll get the race underway. Looks like a 5-minute warm-up. So cars are on the track. We'll go ahead and cut down there and If I can get everything to cooperate with me here. There we go. And one thing you did notice, the cones over there in the back straightaway, they will not be utilizing the dogleg shortcut tonight. That is in the rules tonight. They will only use the main part of the track here tonight at Phoenix. So it's going to be kind of like an old school type of race here. But we'll have to see how it all transpires and how that plays a role into the race here this evening. So basically, you see those cones. They cannot go below those cones. They can use a little part of the shortcut there, but they have to wait until they cannot go and hit those cones. They hit the cones, and they will be penalized when it is all over with. So as you see these cars out here running laps, there's Ben Pierce in the 65 car. One thing you will see different tonight, I started this actually last night in the Great Lakes Sim Racing League. You will, Ben Pierce, hard lick there. I will keep the name up here on the left side of the screen so you'll be able to see what car I'm focused on and stuff, so you can see who's in the field. You can get to know these drivers a little bit more when it's all over with. Like there's Austin Edwards, a California driver in that 18 car. So on and so forth. Laxton right now, fastest car in practice, a 27.99. So that 53 in the Empire Racing team looking pretty solid this evening. I did get a chance to do some reviewing, and I do have now some list of teams and stuff, so I can kind of connect people to what teams and so forth and so on. So we have Empire Racing, which actually has two teams. They actually just split up, so to say. I mean, they're all part of one team, but two different teams because the max rule is 5 drivers on one team. So we have Team 1 that has 3 drivers, Mike Braun, Daniel Hall, Brandon Trajembo. Your money's in the mail, Cody. And number 2, Justin Laxton, Mario Ercoloni, and Ben Pierce will be on team number 2 of the Empire Racing Squad. And then, of course, you have, let me scroll up here, the Wood Brothers Racing Team, which has all of Dave Burns all by himself there. And then you got YMA. I think that's Young Money or something like that. I think it's like some kind of ripoff of Drake or something. Sam Fontaine. Yeah, let's get the... Why do I always do that? I wanted you guys to make sure you knew what the schedule is. Anyways, all right. Thanks, Cody. All right, back to where I was. The teams in this series. So you got Young Money, which is Fontaine, Matthew Telder, Luke Daniels, Curran Beckler, and Joey Ledesor. Then you got the Rocca Nation, which is Benedetto, Stefan Anderson, Richard Benedetto, and Mike Hasty. Then you got the LTC Motorsports, Mike Carlson, Jeff Carlson, and Joe Sefton. You have KGD2 Racing of Jason Dalton and Brian Sutphin. You got the Herzog Motorsports team of, well, wait for it, Mark Herzog, who won the race last week. So the one-man show, stole the show last week. Full Throttle Motorsports, Cody Beatty, who's over here talking to me in chat, Drift, Andy Moore, and Matt Sparks. You got the Faster Esports with Nick Jazeboski, Coy Haslow, Ron Schutte, Austin Edwards, and Steele Langford. Got the Coffee Addict Motorsports, grounds for concern with that name. Jason Coe on that team, and then Apgar Esports, which has Trevor Catalano, Ken Zames, Matt Sicardo, Tyler Catalano, and Timmy Catalano. A lot of Catalanos on that team. So a bunch of different teams as part of the league. They're racing for a team championship and so much more this season as the time has run out on the session, and we will go to the race now for 100 laps around this 1 mile oval as we take a look at the starting lineup for this race. It is Austin Edwards, 27.860. He is on the pole. Jason Dalton, and that 4 car will start on his outside. Justin Laxton, good lap for him making his season debut tonight. He'll start next to Brian Sutphin. Mike Carlson, Mike Hasty will lock down the mics in row number 3. Row 4, a guy not named Mike, Daniel Hall, and Ken Zames, their 7th and 8th. Michael Benedetto, Kevin Anderson will start 9th and 10th. Chalmers Palmer and Mark Herzog, they will be on row number 6. Row number 7, Brandon Hughes, the Floridian, and Samuel Fontaine, the French-Canadian driver, in the 14th position. Ben Pierce will start in the 15th position alongside the boss man, Michael Steffen. New York's Nick Jazeboski will start next to Brandon Trujembo. Row number 10, Matthew Telder and Drift will start there in the 20th position. Row number 6, Cody Beatty and Luke Daniels. Row 6. Row 11. Row 12, Richard Benedetto and Mario Ercoloni. Row number 13, Andy Flipping a Chair Moore and Joey Ladisor. 14, Mike Braun, Jeff Carlson, 2 California drivers there. Curran Beckler, Matt Zaccardo. Row 15. Row 16, David Burns and Russell for Pete's Steak. And row 17, Joseph Sefton and Jason Coe. And that'll round out the grid of cars in this race. As I mentioned, 100 laps of racing will make up the field. And I said before, the start-finish line still on the old front straightaway here at Phoenix. So it's right here, and the green flag is out. We're racing in race number 2 of the Short Track Super League from Phoenix. Guess it'd help if you can hear the cars, I'm sure. Which you can hear the cars, so we're good. Austin Edwards bringing him off turn number 4. He will lead lap 1. Laxton already up to 2nd and a half-second lead already. So, as you see, he is just pulled away. And looks like Jason Coe has had issues. He was spun around, no caution. And apparently my track map's not going to cooperate with me right now, so I'll work on that here for the next couple minutes, so bear with me if we, well, that was loud. And caution on the track. Michael Benedetto's gone around over here in turn number 1. The 25 car is spun. And it looks like solo spin. Not sure if anyone else got involved. And first caution out here, lap number 3. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage and see what happens here. Next on the inside of the 111 of Brandon Hughes, and he gets put 3 wide here, and here comes the 72 to the bottom. Oh, and he makes contact with the 111. Some might say a little early for 3 wide racing, but hey, that's what you got to do, I guess, if you're going to take positions away. So, but unfortunately brings the caution out. Let's look at it one more again. Oh, and you see Drift back there going for a spin and tagging the inside wall. Didn't see that right off the bat. So you see the 72's on his inside. That is somewhere in there. I can't find his name. But anyways, Mike Braun, that's who it is. And they both make contact there. And oh, I'm sorry, it's Daniel Hall in the 72. My apologies. But they go for a spin and just a little accident. Nothing hard. No harm, no foul, it looks like. Just a racing deal, unfortunately. right. So as I mentioned, caution out for the first time here. Check out the weather for tonight's race. We'll be over on the right-hand side. 70 degrees, I mentioned, 73 on the track, 29% humidity, so a very nice night here in Phoenix to be sitting up there on Rattlesnake Hill with all the tents, hanging out, watching the race. All right, Austin Edwards going to bring it off turn 4. He's going to Justin Laxton right there on his outside. Brian Sutphin, Jason Dalton, Mike Hasty, your top 5. As we'll go back racing, lap number 6, a quickie yellow here. And one car up against the outside wall, and he's going to make contact. And a big wreck. The one gets turned. Brandon Trujembo, he goes around. Not sure who it was that got into the outside wall. Let's see who that car is on the outside that was in the wall. Right there, that Moneymaker car. I'm not sure of that number, though. Trying to see what number that is. It's just blending in with the black. And oh, okay. I see what happens. He makes contact with the one, and then they hit each other again. And Jazeboski gets a piece. Cody Beatty's involved. Zaccardo, Brandon Hughes, a whole bunch of cars involved. Just a bad restart there. Watch it one more time here. Just a bad restart, unfortunately. In a parking lot over here in turn number 1, you see Drift gets some damage from it and so much more. Let's go on board with the one car here and review this again. This is on board with Trujembo. Wreck's already going to take place here. Let's actually back it up a second. All right, so there's a checkup right there. There's contact. We're going to slow it down. There's the contact with the one and the car behind him. And then almost some contact with Ben Pierce, Trujembo's teammate there. And then there's more contact there, and he gets turned into the wall. So just an ugly situation there, unfortunately, on a restart. All right, so let's try it again here. Lap number 10. Jazeboski and Zaccardo both on pit road. Right now, they will be 31st and 32nd. Everybody else still on track with damage to be fixed. As Green comes back out, they're checking up again in the back. And another caution. Richard Benedetto in this one. Also the 82. Or that's a 25, I'm sorry, of Michael Benedetto and Richard Benedetto. let's see what happens here. Kevin Anderson, Michael Steffen right there. These are all teammates right here, as a matter of fact. Anderson and Steffen, part of the Rocket Nation. You got Richard Benedetto about 3 cars back, and they go, and it's just a big checkup. One car tries to go, and you can't go until the car goes in front of you. I mean, that's the way it is. You cannot go until the car in front of you goes. Let's see what happens here. So the 90 of Ken Zames, it starts up here with Ken Zames, up here in this area. You got the 24 of Mike Hasty. Zames has got a little bit back there, and here. Yeah, it's just a big checkup. Let's watch one more time here. Let's go on board with Zames. People trying to anticipate the jump. Let's go to Herzog here and see if we can find where the checkup starts. Tough situation. People just trying to anticipate the jump, and you can't go until, I mean, the car's got to go in front of you for you to go. Unfortunately. A caution out here for this third time already in this race. Car's getting damage fixed. If you're a new viewer to the chat, make sure you hit that subscribe button, please. And if you want to chat it up, I do talk to my viewers. You viewers are my important people. I like to enjoy conversation with them, talk about some racing. So they're going to go single file on this restart because of the way the restarts have happened. Austin Edwards going to lead them back to the green flag here. He's led all 14 laps so far. And Austin rolls to the green. Here we go. Let's see if we can get back underway here. Looks like so far so good as they roll through turn 1 and 2. As you know, these cars very light in the back when it comes to downforce and stuff like that. So these cars are very easy to spin out off a corner. So you got to be careful how much you roll to them. They're a lot different than you see in like the Cup cars and the Xfinity cars and stuff like that. If anything, they more drive like an Xfinity car. As Michael Steffen at 669 looking to the bottom here of the 41. Mario Orcoloni is making his season debut tonight. And he's going to let Steffen go on by. That is for the 13th position. Oh, one car getting loose right here in front of Daniel Hall. the 51 of Chalmers Parker making his season debut tonight. So a lot of guys making their season debut this evening. So everybody getting to know each other just a little bit here. We ride on board with Daniel, the Ohio driver, in the 72 car. You can drive down there on that area of the track. You just have to be careful not to hit those cones. You hit those cones, it's a black flag penalty for cutting the course. That's Fontaine and Zanes battle it out here for the 7th position. The lead right now, 9/10 of a second over Justin Laxton. These guys are just getting into a rhythm here. Look, as I always say on the track map, solid color is basically the cars are on the lead lap. If you see a car that's got a blue ring around the edge, that person is a lap down. Right now, nobody on the track is a lap down. So everybody who's on track right now still on the lead lap. So you'll see all solid color cars. Matter of fact, Jazeboski's coming off of pit road right now. And of course, his car's not doing what I said to do. So let me fix that really quickly. That should be... Well, it used to be set right, but I guess I don't have it right anymore. So I had to, I went through an update actually last weekend after this race, as a matter of fact, and it, as you see, I got colors on the numbers now and stuff, and things got updated, and I had to kind of reset my settings and stuff. So there's been some changes, unfortunately, on my end, but it's made the broadcast better, I feel. So hopefully you're enjoying it. Look up here, Jason Dalton, the 4 car. One of 2 of the KGD cars running up here in the front. Of course, that Austin Edwards leading. But this field's starting to get spread out here. Let's go back here. We got a battle for position. This is Mario Arcoloni back to the inside of Stefan. He's got the 19 right there behind him. Jeff Carlson, Joey Ledessour there behind him also. Phoenix been hosting races since the 1960s. Didn't host a NASCAR race until 1988 when the Cup Series came here for the first year. As up the track goes Carlson. Ledessour is going to go by. First Cup race here in 1988 won by the late Alan Kowicki. Of course, the invention of the Polish victory lap was that day. In 1989, it was Bill Elliott dominating and winning this race. But ever since then, Phoenix has hosted 1 or 2 races each year, and has gone through so many transitions, which includes now this part of the track being where the front stretch is now, but it's not been updated yet on iRacing. I'm sure it will be in the near future. There's your leader, Austin Edwards. He's got 1.6 seconds now on Justin Laxton in that 53 car. Justin doing a pretty good job. Jason Dalton, Mike Hasty, one of the Rocket Nation cars up here in the 4th position. Mike Carlson up in the top 5. Now, the guy last week who was looking really good and then unfortunately was involved in a couple accidents, Brian Sutphin, is up here in the 6th position doing a good job. Another of those KGD cars. KJD, you gotta be careful. Ride with, this is Sutphin here. Looking to the inside of Mike Carlson, that 3 car. got to just roll to the throttle here. Also gives him the room and will give him the position. Move him up to the 5th spot. And I just saw on the ticker that Chalmers Parker made a pass also for position. Also, Bercoloni getting past Telder for a position. So another cool feature there you just see on the screen, the race info part. That allows me to kind of, if I see something and we're not able to show it, I can try to flash that up on the screen for you to see that things are going on the track. So far, some great racing out here early in this race. Luke Daniel to the inside of Jeff Carlson. Jeff starting to fall back a little bit with that damage. You see Luke Daniel with some damage. He was actually the other car in that wreck with the one car that I couldn't recognize the number of the car. It's Luke Daniel in the 98. That's why I couldn't recognize him. I mentioned some of the re-ups on this track. Of course, it started back in 2012 when Phoenix pretty much eliminated all the grass on this track. If you remember, Phoenix back in the day had grass right here. The pit road was closer in, and then this whole part of the track on the inside was all grass. And they took that out and created this dog leg, which has become the world's famous shortcut. You call it a Joker lap if you want to. And then, of course, they paved all this section here then. And then basically what happened is because of the way the sun is, the sun actually sets over here in turn 1 behind the grandstands. So the first thing Phoenix did years ago was built these grandstands and put some towers up there, and that kind of blocked the sun a little bit from the drivers. But then the other issue is the sun was burning the fans up, obviously, because they were sitting out in the grandstands here on the front stretch. And I mean, you know, Phoenix is not the coolest spot in the world to watch a race from. So what they did was made the flip and put the back stretch now where the front stretch is and vice versa, and put grandstands over here so that the sun is now behind the fans, so it's not as hot. So that's the reason why the track flipped the way it did a couple seasons ago. As you see here, this is Daniel Hall in the 72 car with Ben Pierce, a couple teammates there, as they're going to battle it out for the 10th position here. So the 18 of Austin Edwards has led all 35 laps, but he is coming up on the back of the field here. He's got Andy Moore in the 45. He's coming up on Drift in the 14. David Burns in the 55. All these cars only a couple seconds away from going a lap down in this race. We stay green, you're looking at probably another 40 laps or so before the pit stops will happen. There's only going to be a need for one stop unless you burn the tires up. But, I mean, you could see the window open as soon as lap 50 to get on new tires. You see Austin kind of getting her sideways there. But he leads by 2.1 seconds over Justin Laxton. They all go by Nick Jazeboski, unfortunately destroying the car early in the race. Now this race is brought to you by Buttkicker and of course Jazeboski Designs. If you type in STSL on your Buttkicker purchase, you could get 20% off your purchase. And then Nick Jazeboski and Jazeboski Designs is actually going to paint a car for the winner of tonight's race. Appreciate the viewers that are watching this evening. Got, what, 14 so far? Not a bad night. And I should be correct, it's not the winner of tonight's race. I believe Nick said earlier it would be the guy with the fastest lap in tonight's race would get the paint. As you see, Kevin Anderson, or that's Fontaine actually, the 91 coming up on the back of Mike Carlson there in the 3. He'll take the 6th position away likely here. Got Kenny Zames there behind him. And the 51 of Chalmers Parker doing a good job. But as I mentioned, the leaders now coming up into lap traffic pretty heavy here. Going by the 19 of Jeff Carlson. You see Andy Moore's gone a lap down. Got to be very careful with these cars. I put it down in the race info just now on the YouTube page. If you type in, again, STSL to a Buttkicker purchase, you will get 20% off your purchase. So put that out there right now. As we're 8 laps from halfway already. The battle's starting to shape up here for the 5th position. Here comes teammates, or I guess they're not really teammates. They're on 2 different teams. But Fontaine inside of Mike Casey. This is for the 5th position. Fontaine started back in the 13th spot. He is not the biggest mover in this race, believe it or not. And Fontaine going to clear him off turn 2. Watching Austin work his way through positions here. He got by the 55 of David Burns. Now he's coming up on the back end to drift, or what's left of his back end. And the 8 of Mike Braun there in front of him. So far, but Justin Laxton has started to eat into that lead a little bit. It's now 1.5 seconds as Austin just kind of being patient, but this is going to kind of slow him up a little bit as Austin's gone through these couple cars here, and now Justin's got to work his way through. One of the more underrated things you don't get to see much on iRacing in these long races is these cars actually getting into lap traffic and stuff like this. Most races, when you get into like NIS and stuff like that, turn into Wreckfest, and you don't get a chance to see lap cars come into play in this kind of race. As Chalmers going to look underneath the 3, so Carlson's starting to fall back. Here comes the 51 inside. Not able to clear him here off turn 4. He should be able to get him here in turn 1 inside and lets him go. Crossover maybe? Oh, Neppy got a little loose there. So down to 22 cars on the lead lap in this race. Pit window's open. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these cars, as soon as they're getting lapped, might jump the pit road and get tires, because at this point then you can get out there and, yeah, you're going to be a couple laps down, but at least you'll be faster and you can gain some track position out of it. Go back here. Michael Steffen and Joey Ladesseur as they try to get past Matt Taylor here in the 2 car. '82 leaving pit road of Richard Benedetto. Doing all he can. And you know what? Richard Benedetto was on pit road, and just as I said, here comes Michael Benedetto to pit road. So I think you're starting to see the cars that I talked about making the pit move here at lap 50. right at the halfway mark. Benedetto, 4 tires and fuel, 15.3. So both the Benedettos have come to pit road. They're going to come back on track, and they're going to be about 2 to 3 laps down in this race. As a matter of fact, was that? No, that's before Dalton. So we'll have to watch how fast these cars now are when it comes to lap times. As Kevin Anderson now on pit road. So we're starting to see some of these Rocket Nation cars coming to pit road. As here comes last week's winner, Mark Herzog, inside of these 023. A lot of damaged cars in this race from these early accidents. All looking pretty good in that 47 car. Not sure, he might have taken tires, but he pitted at lap 13 here. Is looking pretty solid here on the long run to the outside of Stefan. You have to assume he took tires. The way he's driving up through this field. That pass by Herzog has allowed Stefan to pull away. And the battle now on up here again with Chalmers. And let's actually go right behind it. As Ken Zames to the inside of Mike Carlson, starting to fall through the field. So you wonder if his car is starting to fall off a little bit in that 90 and causing some issues. They went through the sweeping turn 3 and 4. And you see the 3 getting a little loose there. And Ken Zames will make the pass for position here. So move him up to the 7th spot. Back here as we're starting to see Chalmers catch Fontaine for position. With Chalmers. As he gets a little loose, the Carolina driver had to go save it, and that allows Sam to continue on. Very easy to get loose down there, especially as you have to pull the car to the bottom because the back end will snap around on you. As Matt Sicardo comes to pit road. Now these cars only rev up to 8,000 RPM, so you could potentially, on like newer tires, hear this car hit the chip, just because of the way the gearing is in this car. It's an old NASCAR stock car, but it is set up for the ARCA and formerly known the K&N series. So these cars are just got a different feel to them. They're more for kind of beginner to intermediate drivers that are working their way up the ladder, up to the big 3 like the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series and stuff like that. See them going by the lap car of Mike Braun. go back here to this battle we've been watching for the last few laps as Ricardo's sitting on pit road, but Lanasaur has been trying to get past Stefan as Telder's been able to pull away, and Herzog got past Telder, so her mark up to the 12th position now on those newer tires. We're 61 laps in. Again, should start to see pit stops here, and you got to be careful because the right front tires on these ARCA cars take a beating. I remember my only time I've ever popped a tire on iRacing happened in this car at the Michigan Speedway. I was going down into turn 3, and all of a sudden I saw a meatball pop up on my screen. I'm like, something's wrong here, and I realized my car was heading for the wall. Battle continues here. You got Brian Sutphin up here in the 5th position, and then the fight continuing up here for 6th, which is now becoming a 3-car battle. The 3rd car, though, is a lap down, and Jeff Carlson in the 24th position right now. This field is really getting spread out now as the handling's coming into play. Now next week, Richmond Raceway is race number 3. We'll have that for you next Thursday night at 8:45 Eastern Time. We continue this ARCA series presented by the Buttkicker and Jazeboski Designs. We'll be on the air next for a broadcast Monday night for the TI Racing Truck Series at Rockingham. We'll be streaming probably throughout the weekend, doing some racing here and there. But broadcast-wise, that's the next time you'll see Captain TV on the air. But as I said, you'll always see me broadcasting and racing, especially when I'm on the track. Tuesday night, the TI Racing IndyCar Series at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. And then Wednesday, we'll have the finale for the Great Lakes Sim Racing Series at the Chicagoland Speedway. And then, of course, the ARCA Series Thursday night. And then next Friday night, the return of the Blown Piston Racing League, as they'll be at Talladega Super Speedway, I believe, for the first race of their truck series. So 7 days a week next week, we'll be on the air. So Chalmers going to put pressure on Fontaine. Here they go into turn number 3. About to turn 1 because that's the new track. Brandon Hughes on pit road now. Oh, you can see that right rear was trying to spin around on him. But Chalmers not able to get the throttle down to make the pass. So Austin Edwards is pulling away to a 3.6 second lead over Justin Laxton. Jason Dalton, your top 3. Those guys pretty much started in the top 3. They've run there throughout the night. Brian Sutphin started 4th. And then Fontaine's your first car that really didn't start in the 5th position, but has worked his way up there. Up from the 14th position. Biggest mover in this race right now. It's actually a tie between Russell Peets and Jason Coe. Russell started 32nd and has worked his way to 19th, and then Coe started 34th and he's worked his way to 21st in this race. We now have 15 cars on the lead lap. Michael Steffen trying to hold on. So Austin definitely showing his dominance here in this race. Again, now you got to be careful because they're really in the fuel window now. You could come to pit road and get tires and fuel at this point. The question going to be, though, will somebody pop a tire, or will it be a caution that would really set this race on its lid. Austin goes by and laps Stefan. Next will be the 023 of Joey Ledesor. Battle's starting to shape up between teammates for third here. Sutphin has caught the back of the 4 as they pass the one car of Brandon Trajembo, who was involved in that checkup there on the front straightaway on the restart. Now caution is out. And it is for Nick Jazeboski, who has hit the wall in turn 1 and 2. Or turn 3 and 4, I'm sorry. And that make things interesting now. So that's going to bring all the leaders to pit road. We'll look at the replay first, but we're going to watch pit stops here. And Lucky Dog going to go to Michael Stefan. He'll get back on the lead lap here. A nice long green flag run there of almost 60 laps after a shaky start to this race. There goes the front 2 to pit road. They are going to have plenty of time to pit here because they had 11 seconds on third. Go. There's the top 2, and you'll see the times down there at the bottom on pit road. Right side tires going on, left side's going to go next. Pretty much simultaneous to both of them. And there you go. There goes the top 2 off pit road easily. Austin Edwards and Justin Laxton. And their pit stops were exactly the same. That's how in sync that was. And then back here, Jason Dalton going to come off third. Sutphin, Chalmers Parker, and those guys there. So let's go back to the caution real quickly and see what took place with Nick Jazeboski on board with him in the 82. Oh, he goes up and smacks the wall and ends up on his side. Yeesh. And that car was already driving bad. Did you see how turned the wheel was at that point? When you have to drive like that, that is not good. Watch it again. There you go. That's what transpired there. All right. 25 laps to go. It looks like you're going to see a couple cars get a wave around or here up here in the front. That'll get them all in the lead lap, and see how that all works out. But that's, I believe, Drift, Andy Moore, Trajembo, Cody Beatty, Luke Daniels. go. Pace car going to pull off. Single file restart. Austin Edwards going to lead him to the green. Fontaine with a good jump on Chalmers Parker back here for the fifth position, going to try to make a move. Oh, getting tight. Thomas able to hold him off right now. Oh, trouble in the back. A couple cars have gone around. That brings out the caution. Looks like Jason Coe is the car, the 54, the pink and gray. Number 54 brings out the fifth caution here at Phoenix. Let's check out what happens to Coe in the 54. Carolina driver here. At the 41. Oh, he gets loose right in front of the 41 of Ercoloni. They both hit the wall, and Braun gets a piece of it. So does Trajembo. But caution is out for the fifth time. Hey, it did work. Sweet. So I got a chat message thing over here on my broadcast now. So I can actually talk to the drivers from the display on my screen without showing it up on the screen. That's a pretty cool feature I've gotten to add on here too now. So let's look at this replay one more time. You can see the back end already right there. So he's just got too much speed in the car right there at that point. And that's where Mario kind of catches a piece of him, and he goes for the spin. Nice job by the 19 to miss. Or 191, that is, sorry. Ercoloni climbs the wall. Hard to hit for him. Braun's going to kind of sideswipe, more of a netcode sideswipe. We'll go back racing here in just a second. So we're going to come back to racing here with 19 laps to go. Austin Edwards has led all the laps. Justin Laxton second. Jason Dalton, Brian Sutphin, and Thomas Parker. Your top 5, Fontaine, Hasty, Zames, Herzog, and Daniel Hall in the 72. The 10th place cars. We had a double file restart this time by and back to action. 18 laps to go. Good restart for Edwards. Got his the 4 car of Dalton to the inside of Laxton. Oh, trouble! And that's Ben Pierce. It's been turned into the inside wall. He goes. Let's see what happens to Pierce making his debut tonight in this series. Ben up there in that 65 car to the outside of Mike Carlson, goes down to the corner. The hosted hopping.com car. Got Telder on his inside. And gets turned by Telder. Is it Urcoloni getting the lap back? It is. Mario Urcoloni will get his lap back. He'll be in the 22nd position here. 16 laps to go. So again, next week, Richmond, or next Thursday night, Richmond Raceway. We'll have that at 8:45 Eastern Time. Appreciate the viewers watching tonight. You haven't been too chatty, but I do appreciate you watching. I'm not going to be somebody who begs. And new subscriber tonight, I see. Ido Vila from the TI IndyCar Series. Yeah, subscribe. Appreciate that, Ido. So we'll go back racing here from the 6th caution. 13 laps to go. Another double file restart. Top 4 have been the same pretty much all night. Austin Edwards been the class of the field. Go, pace car's in, and Austin's on the pedal. Good restart for him. That's going to leave Laxton side by side with Jason Dalton in a turn 1. Laxton's going to send it in there, see if he can carry the speed off. sends it down into turn 3 to the outside. You see Parker's moved up to the 4th position past Sutphin. O'Connor's up the track. And that's going to bring the 7th caution out. Herzog and I think that's Mike Hasty, who is having a great race tonight. And now Herzog gets hit at the last second by somebody. Cody Beatty's got a piece of this also. Oh, Beatty spun on the pit road. So this happened over starting in the turn 4. And there's Maloney hitting the. So it actually happens way up here with Cody. There's Cody spinning, drift. And then more of the wreck over there in the turn 4 area. Cody said on the microphone, my bad. It was on him, so. Let's watch it one more again here. Oh, contact with Steffen. Man, of all the people, you don't hit the admin. Well, you know what? Cody might have been trying to avoid a lot of sewer when that happened. Drift does get a piece of it, and then more wrecking up in front there. So just a multi-car accident here. Let's watch, because actually we're going to have 2 wrecks here when this all happens. Because you got, if you look up front there's a wreck in front of this. So you got, actually, you know what? Yeah, there are 2 cautions in here. You got Cody here. And then let's slide up to the 26, and we're going to see another accident right here. Right there is Herzog and somebody else. Mike Carlson gets turned. So 2 accidents actually coming out here with 10 to go. Ten laps to go. Will Laxton have anything for Austin Edwards, who has led all 73 laps this evening? And another double file restart coming up. Racing Ghost 4X pace car, as I like to call it, going to pull off. And we'll go back to racing here with 9 laps to go in this Phoenix race. Of course, brought to you by Buttkicker and Jazeboski Designs. Good restart again for Austin. There's actually 8 laps to go. Let's see if we can get to the checker flag here. We had a real good green flag run, and then unfortunately it's been in a sandwich. A caution sandwich, let's call it. Ooh, you see cars getting dancy. A little bit of cooler tires here. Got to get some temp into them a little bit. And caution is out again. This time Russell Peets and Kevin Anderson have gone around. Let's see here this time. Now 191 just gets on it. Oh, and right there, Mike Braun wrecks also in the 8 car. Braun having a struggle here in the 25th position tonight. So both those guys getting loose on the track. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'd like for you to be a part of every broadcast that we host each and every night. Again, we'll be very shortly up to 7 nights a week every single week. Right now it's kind of hit or miss with some leagues just finishing up, some leagues just starting up, so on and so forth. $319 subscribers, hit 300 last week, appreciate that. And for those new tonight, hopefully you've enjoyed the broadcast as we continue to try to improve each week, and each night as a matter of fact. Should get one to go next time by. We might end up with the unofficial green-white checker, which means basically it's still within lap range, but we'll have a 2-lap to go restart. Fastest lap of the race tonight, of course, I believe is the award that is getting the Jazeboski paint. I could be wrong, but if I am, that is going to go to, as of right now, 20. Looks like there's 2 27-second laps I'm seeing. It would go to Austin Edwards, believe it or not. 27.89 over Laxton, who ran at 95. So let's see if the pace car lights go off. They do. And so it will be an unofficial green-white checker finish, as we still have 3 official laps to go. So if we get another caution, we will go to a green-white checker for the finish of this race. Pace car going to pull off. Austin Edwards, let's see if he goes early again. He's been going early on every restart here. And he does. He's on it quickly. Laxton, not a bad restart for him, but he's going to clear the 4 of Dalton. 2 laps to go. Will we make it back to the white flag? Smoke in the back. Cody Beatty spins. Green-white checker. Let's see what happens to the 78. Oh, looks like Hasty came down into Beatty. Let's watch one more time here, but yeah, it looks like Hasty was up in that top groove and went to come down, and the 78 was there. Tries to get around Ercoloni, and yep, there's Cody. Oh yeah, and there's the contact. So for the second straight night, we get a green-white checker finish. As the 17 gets the lucky dog, I believe that was. It just flew by the screen. Or 19, I'm sorry, Jeff Carlson. So some great runs. Got some great runs by some drivers tonight. Matthew Tellender started 19th up to 10th, or up to 9th. Letasur, as I mentioned earlier, from 26th to 11th. Andy Moore, 25th to 15th. David Burns from 31st to 15th, 16th. And we'll come back to the green here again for the first green-white checker finish of this race and the 9th caution tonight. We're at lap number 102 now. Justin Laxton on the outside of Austin Edwards, who has led all 102 laps in this race, looking to go flag to flag. That 4-car Jason Dalton has run only in third all night. He has not been anywhere else on the track. Third place. Chalmers Parker, who started back in the 11th position, has worked his way to fourth, has had a great run in his series debut tonight. And of course, the usual, Sam Fontaine running up in the top 5. There's not a race where you will not see the name Samuel Fontaine up in the top 5 to 10 in a short track Super League race. For some reason, Sam knows how to get it done on the short tracks. All right, pace car is going to pull in. This is green-white checker number 1. Once again, Edwards on the pedal. And one car jumped to the outside. Nice move there by Luke Daniels. Oh, trouble. Sutphin into the wall. And that brings the caution out again. And I believe we still have one more green-white checker to go before this thing is over with. Let's see what happens to Sutphin. Yeah, what a restart there by the one, by the 98 of Daniels. Oh, the 90 gets into the back of the 26. Oh, yeah, 26 just checks up. 90 runs him over. So we'll go back racing here. Should be in 2 laps. What has been a wild race. We had a long 60-lap green flag run, and in between that, we've had 10 cautions. We had about 3 beforehand, and then we had another, 4 now afterwards. Again, next week it will be the Richmond Raceway for round number 3 of this Short Track Super League ARCA series. Justin Laxton, Chalmers Parker, Jason Dalton, Sam Fontaine, your top 5. Daniel Hall, Matthew Telder, Ladasur, Ken Zames, Mike Carlson, your top 10. Laxton sitting right on the door of Edwards, waiting for him to go. Ooh, and Laxton shuts the door on a 51. He keeps the 2nd position. They almost hit each other, actually. Look at the 72 back here. Daniel Hall trying to make some moves as the 4 to the outside of Parker. And now the caution's out. The race is over. Ben Pierce has gone around. And that's going to end this thing. So checkered flag, Austin Edwards going to score the victory here at the Phoenix Raceway tonight. Leads all 110 laps. As Austin going drifting through turn 3 and 4. Got to be careful of the grip. And I don't think Austin's on a team. I was looking through here to see what team he's on, but there's some donuts for you. Let's go back and see the caution as Austin lays down the burnout here. Oh, right there, Michael just runs over to 65. Wow. There's your winner, Austin. Let's look at the final results of the race. Edwards wins it, and then we got Justin Laxton second. Jason Dalton holds on to third. Chalmers Parker fourth. Daniel Hall, a top 5 finish for him. Fontaine, Ken Zames, Matthew Telder, Joey Ladiseur, Drift. Trajembo comes back to an 11th place finish. Mike Carlson, Luke Daniels, Andy Moore. David Burns, a good 15th place run for him after being a lap down early in this race. Benedetto, Sutphin, and Cody Beatty finishing in the 18th position. Going through the rest of the finishers, Hasty finishing 19th, Russell Peach 20th, Jeff Carlson 21st, Jason Coe 22nd, Ben Pierce 23rd, Kevin Anderson 24th, Mike Braun 25th, Mario Ercoloni 26th, Richard Benedetto 27th, Mark Herzog 28th, Michael Steffen 29th, 30th, Brandon Hughes 31st, Nick Jazeboski, Matt Zaccardo 32nd, and Beckler did not start the race, neither did Joseph Sefton when it is all over with. So, all right, let's talk to the winner in Victory Lane, and that is Austin Edwards. Just give me 1 second here, and we'll get him all set up. Got to get him a microphone and stuff, as that's how that all works and things like that. Getting him all set up, ready to go. If he's here, even. Let's go into Discord now and look for Austin. There's Austin in the waiting for interview room as he joins us this evening. Austin Edwards, I've heard a lot of good things about you, and you definitely showed the field up a little bit tonight. You had that R gear, as I've been hearing in chat a lot tonight, going for you pretty well tonight, and score the win. Nice job and the pretty dominating effort.
Yep, I appreciate it. It was a pretty smooth night. You know, came out here, missed most of practice, unfortunately. Was able to jump in with 5 minutes left and put down a pretty decent lap. And I tell you, I've never been so lucky in qualifying. I couldn't have gotten any closer to the fence, any closer to the apron, any closer to the edge of the tires breaking loose. Can't get a more perfect lap than that. So I was able to carry that speed into the race pretty well. Was able to just barely outrun Justin, maybe keep the tires on a little bit better than he did, and luckily was able to match the restarts every single time to bring it home at the end.
Right, and you had that long green flag run, of course, of about 60 laps or so, and you had to go through some lap traffic. That had to be a little stressful.
Yeah, that was a little bit difficult. There were little cars everywhere. There was a couple wanted to go high, some wanted to go low. Some of them communicated, some of them wouldn't. So it was one giant guessing game where you had to hope you didn't end up in the fence out of the result. But it turned out pretty well in my favor, so I'm not going to complain.
Absolutely. You get yourself a win in your first start this season. What's the schedule look like for Austin the rest of the season? Are we going to see a lot more, or is it just whenever you get an opportunity to type thing?
Yeah, I'm hoping to run here full time. Of course, life happens sometimes. Can't
Absolutely.
make some races sometimes, but that was kind of the case with Iowa. I'd meant to make Iowa and unfortunately missed it. So really great show these guys got going on. I'm hoping to make the rest of the season and hopefully keep this momentum, maybe even make my way up in points. We'll have to wait and see.
You got plenty of time to do it, 8 more weeks. So great job, Austin. As always, send shout-outs to whoever you'd like to, any sponsors, friends, family members, people you hate, whatever you want.
Well, I'm not going to call anybody I hate. That'd be Spain. But shoot, I got to say a big thank you to Faster Esports for bringing me into this deal, having me run for them. It's been a lot of fun with those guys. And, of course, Track Time Entertainment for supporting me and everything I do in sim racing. That'd be it.
I'm just glad you caught that anybody you hate part, because some people that might have went right over their head and I didn't notice I said it. So, but yeah, Faster Esports, that answers my question. I went looking, I'm like, what team's he on? Great job, and nice. Congratulations, 110 laps led tonight. Nice job.
All right, thank you, sir.
Absolutely, you too. Austin Edwards, the winner tonight here at the Phoenix Raceway, 1 for 1 so far on the season. So I know he's a pretty happy camper with that. Let's bring in Justin Laxton, who finishes in the second position. Justin also making his season debut tonight, and well, he ran no higher than second and ran no lower than second in the race, and a good finish for him. Justin, obviously got asked the obvious question, do you have anything for the 18 at all, or was it one of those things where it was waiting on a mistake to try to pounce?
Yeah, it was just waiting on a mistake. I mean, Austin built a heck of a setup for the league too, and kudos to him. You know, I'd probably run if I built a setup that good too.
Yeah, and well, because of that, obviously you get a second place run with the fun setup, but I was talking to him about the lap traffic tonight. You had to fight your way through that during that long 60-lap green flag run. That had to be kind of stressful.
Yeah, they were pretty good for me. I mean, probably running Austin a little bit harder. There were a couple guys, you know, they were battling, and you just kind of sit behind them. I called out to a couple guys just to let them know I was going to go low or go high. That way we didn't run into problems. But all in all, I mean, I thought tonight's race, the guys that I was racing around, big shout out to Jason. Couple times there, turn one on restarts, he probably could have turned me, and you know, he ran me nice and clean, so I really did appreciate that. And I got to figure out restarts with it's super late model, the truck, these ARCA cars. I'm just dog water.
What, that is your nickname?
Yeah, and I'm living up to that nickname on it.
Well, great job, man. Nice second place finish in your season debut here. Richmond next week, and you can, as always, send shout outs wherever you like to, bud.
Shout out to my pops. I think he's watching upstairs.
Nice.
Reaper Speed Labs. I get all my short track setups from them. Great setups. Twitch channel, which I haven't been streaming lately. Plaid Dog 835. I know I'm forgetting some guys. Oh, hostedhopping.com. Go get a couple T-shirts.
Yes.
Other than that, yeah, shout out to Chris for his great broadcast. And I tried, boss. I really tried. I just quite get it done tonight.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Yes, I do own a team in this league, by the way. So, hey, you did fine. Great job. We'll work on a raise. You'll get a 20% bonus. What you make now?
20% of nothing. That'll work.
You get the math. Nice job.
Good.
You too, bud. Justin Laxton finishing second in the race and did a pretty good job this evening. But yes, I do have a team, the Empire team. It's something that I put together with a bunch of guys who didn't have a team to race for, and I figured I'd have a little fun with it. So Justin's one of the guys on the team, so he did a great job. A lot of the guys did good, but I'm not making it about me and the team and stuff. We're all about having a good old time here, of course, this season. But Jason is going to join us now after a awesome third place finish for him, and I'm talking about Jason Dalton in that 4 car, gave that car a ride, and keeping on the little streak of the way the race went here tonight. This is how the front worked out. Austin led every lap. Justin Laxton ran second pretty much every lap, and Jason Dalton ran third pretty much every lap tonight, and comes back to a third place finish, but it was not easy at the end there. You had to work your way back around Chalmers there to get that third.
Yeah, I had a terrible restart right there and mistimed it a little bit. He got a run on me, and so I had to restart fourth on that last one. And to be honest with you, I really don't know how I got around him. I actually thought he had me sitting in the car, but, you know, just able to get a pretty good run off the corner there when the caution come out and got him.
Noticed a little bit, especially 3 and 4. 1 and 2, obviously, it wasn't going to happen, but 3 and 4, it seemed like the high line actually worked a little bit if you ran it right.
Yeah, it did. I never had to run it a whole lot there with the way the race went.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody spread out, but there toward the end, I had to run it a couple times. And yeah, I mean, if you could pinch them down there a little bit, you could get a pretty good run off the 4.
Yeah, and that's the tricky part about these ARCA cars is there's not much rear downforce like you're used to in like a truck or a cup car or something like that. So the back end can easily dance, and I saw it on a bunch of cars tonight as they were dancing off of turn 4. But hey, man, nice job tonight. Represented the team pretty well. I know you had a teammate up there for a little bit. Unfortunate circumstances with the 26, but great job tonight. Shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, man, no, I just hate my teammate got wrecked there, but it's just me and him, and we kind of put this deal together and been running some and just having a good time, man. And Austin has done a great job with these setups, and it's just having a blast.
Yeah, that KJ, I keep saying KGD, which I believe is like a card thing or something for like automobiles and stuff, but KJD is the team name. But great job, and obviously you and Brian have shown the speed. I know Brian was really fast last week at Iowa. You showed the speed tonight, and Richmond next week is, well, kind of like both of these tracks, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to Richmond. We both really like that track, and kind of just a quick shout out to our sponsor here. Our team name is actually KJD Racing. It's actually Brian's actually my cousin, and the racing name is actually for my brother, which is Kenny Joel Dalton, and he was killed in a car wreck, so we kind of running this in his honor, and like I said, man, just having a good time out here.
Well, I'm sure he would be proud of you guys doing something like that for him and his remembrance. So nice job on that, man, and great job tonight, and congratulations.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you doing the broadcast. It's pretty good.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Jason. All right, Jason Dalton there, and that's, I mean, you that hits you when you hear something like that from somebody, because you never want to see a family member lost, and to see that kind of a tribute being paid, that's pretty cool. So with that being said, though, that's going to wrap it up this evening from Phoenix Raceway. Appreciate everybody watching here this evening. Austin Edwards coming home with the win, leading all the laps tonight. Laxton and Dalton, your top three when it's all over with. As always, thanks to iRacing for allowing me to broadcast on the platform. Thanks to Michael Steffen and the boys from the Short Track Super League for allowing me to be a part of the broadcast now for, about 4 seasons now, I think it's been, that we're working on here. So I'm definitely happy to be a part of that. Thank you, viewers, as always, for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Next time you'll see me on the air for this series will be next Thursday night at Richmond. But Monday night, the next official broadcast, we'll call it, because I'll be streaming here and there throughout the weekend. But Monday night will be at the Rockingham Speedway, North Carolina Motor Speedway, formerly known as, in Rockingham, North Carolina, for the TI Racing Truck Series. So enjoy the rest of your evening. And as I always like to say, this isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!
Let go of fear, you're holding the fire smoldering, it's starting all over again. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, burning inside. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, yeah. Every time I grip the wheel, I begin to feel I know what I'm in for. A white knuckle ride. You gotta